All right.
All
So
right.
I
So
think
I
that we
think
are
that we are
live.
live.
So
So
good
good
night,
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night. We are, of course, in the beautiful Caribbean. I am here in Trinidad and Tobago, and Marcia is, of course, from the beautiful island of Barbados. And we are joining you live on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube. And I want you to let me know if you are hearing me and seeing me. Feel free to put it in the comments. You know, we are live here, ready to talk about our workshop from branding to budgeting, and we have a very interesting topic today, which is about monetizing your brand. So it's just after 7 p.m. here in the Caribbean, but of course, I know I always have persons who are joining me from all over the world. So feel free to drop in the comments if you are hearing me, if you are seeing me, where in the world you are joining me from. I'm always excited to speak to persons, um, and to continue to build my community here online, right? Just a little bit again, a little bit of background on me. My name is Debbie Jolie, and I am a marketing strategist and a business development consultant, and I help organizations with their top line goal, which is their revenue goal, of course, with sales, strategic sales and marketing techniques. And I'm going to just we have a little bit, I'm trying to minimize any sort of audio or interference at all. So I'm going to open up Marcia's mic and let her introduce herself to you guys.
Hey, good night to everyone. My name is Marcia Armstrong, and I am the founder of A Purpose Life. I'm also a personal finance strategist and business consultant. And my superpower is being able to give corporate professionals as well as entrepreneurs financial solutions, strategic financial solutions that they need in order to create generational wealth. You're muted, Debbie.
Thank you so much. I just mentioned that I have dropped in the link in the comments for our workshop from branding to budgeting that takes place on the 31st of January from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I give you, for those who missed our lives last week, the reason why we decided to do this live is really because budgeting and branding, your finances, as well as how you develop your brand online are two spaces to me as a person that has been in entrepreneurship now a full time for 6, 7 years. I have seen entrepreneurs struggle here, struggle with of course being able to manage their finances and build the business and brand that they want, right? They don't have money for marketing. They tend to don't have money for further expansion. They make certain financial mistakes, and that kind of um it sort of stunts your growth, right? And then, of course, from a branding perspective, this is really a goal of mine. Developing your personal brand to me is your biggest differentiator, right? It is how you're going to set yourself apart. And so the workshop is really supposed to marry these two critical areas that I feel if you are ready to really launch your business and launch your brand in 2024, this is the workshop that you need to be a part of, right? And of course, you can find all the information on my social media platforms. The link is in the comments there. And again, feel free to let us know where you are joining us from, right? So today's topic is really about monetizing your brand. And that's a thing we hear all the time, constantly. We hear about how do you monetize your brand. Now, I want to, Marcia has an interesting topic that will kind of segue into what I want to chat about as well. And that is how diversifying your income streams, right? And how you begin to sort of build your wealth. So I'm going to open up the mic for Marcia to share some insight here in terms of diversifying your income stream. So Marcia.
Thank you, Debbie. So when we speak about monetizing, definitely one of the things that we have to consider is about diversifying our income streams. Now, if it's anything that the pandemic has taught us, is that having one income stream is too close to zero. And repeat that. Having one income stream is too close to zero. So you want to be in a position to ask yourself, how can I monetize the skill set that I currently have to be able to make money? Now, we will come across some terminology, or we may come across some quotes that says that the millionaires are persons who have wealth. They have 7 and 8 income streams, and we believe that we need to be doing 7 different things or 8 different things. But I'm going to use myself as an example to show you how when you actually have one business, you can have one business and be able to diversify the way in which you actually make your actual revenue. And so using me as an example, as I would have mentioned before, I wear many hats. I wear many hats. But to use me as an example, I offer coaching. Whether that coaching is one-on-one privately, whether that coaching is group coaching. I also am in a position whereas that I do, I have an online course, right? So I'm an online course creator as well. That is another stream of income that can come in. There's also training facilitation. So if someone says, hey, I want you to do a workshop, I want you to come in and speak to my team and to my staff on a particular topic, that's another hat that I wear as well. Another form of income would be speaking engagements. Because I'm speaking about the core things that I know, so I can speak on various financial topics in regards to wealth building, in regards to money mindset, money management, etc. That's another avenue that I can use. If I want to go even further, I can then say, let me write a book, right? That would be another stream of income that I can incorporate if I decide to write a book. If I decide to actually write a physical book or maybe an ebook, because digital assets is another way in which you can actually earn income. One of the things I actually also have on stream is merch, t-shirts, money tees, right? It's not something I push a lot, but I have had customers in that area, and I still do actually, not have had, but I do have customers in regards who will see me in a shirt and say, hey, I like this shirt, can I get one, right? And one of the things I'm looking to add this year would be membership, because I realize that as you help persons on their financial journey, they're like, hey, Marcia, I don't want to do the one-off with you. I want to be able to come into some type of community, whereas like we can come in, get value. It feels like a community again, to get support, to get accountability. And to be able to do that, you can assign what is called a membership model to be able to meet with people, provide value to them, and then in exchange, they will pay you something monetary. So I just listed, I think I went past 8, but I listed a few ways in which just in my business alone, I was able to think about different ways to monetize. So sometimes we believe in ourselves that we believe to or think to ourselves that we need to be doing every single thing under the sun, but in different areas. Right? Now, normally when it comes to investing, they will tell you to diverse, right? Have a diverse portfolio so that you don't put your eggs just in one basket. And then if something happens, then you're out to sea, as they will say. But there's a little difference or a little twist here. I would have mentioned to you one business, in this case, a purpose life, but I listed different ways in which I'm able to earn. So the thing is that as you understand business dynamics, as you understand in entrepreneurship, there is feast, there's famine moments. You will be able or be in a position to know that every month in the year might not be a high season month, And you have to be in a position where you can pull what they call financial levers. So maybe service A is not performing too well right now. Let me pull service B. What are people asking me for? Are they asking me for service C, service D, or E? But you have to have what they call a value ladder. You don't want customers or clients to come to you and you only have one thing to offer. I've been there, right? When I first started coaching, I only had one offer. It was a coaching program for 4 weeks. I taught persons twice a week for 4 weeks. And when that coaching program ended, I remember it like yesterday. It was an international client, and that client wanted more and asked me, Marcia, what do you have next? And Marcia did not have anything. It was crickets, there was silence. And I said to myself that day, I will never be in this position again. So it is to ask yourself when you're diversifying, don't think that you have to go and learn some type of skill that's going to take you 4 to 5 years to get the understanding of it. What do you have in your hands right now that you can monetize? The thing is that we tend to look outside of ourselves for a solution, not understanding the solution is already inside of you. You don't have to look outside of you to find out what to add. What you already have a gift. You have already what I call you have already validated your offer. People are paying already for the service. People are paying for the product already. So what can you add? Think about the customer. What is the end-to-end process that when they come through that door, whether it is a free lead magnet, whether it is a low ticket item that you have selling. So then you have a value ladder where in every step of the journey, it leads to a high ticket, or you might do the other way around. You might start with the high ticket out the gate. But the point is, what journey are you walking your customers through as they come to you so that you are always in a position where your cash flow, you always have some semblance of cash flow coming into your business. And it is not a scenario where you only have a one trick pony. You have one trick and something happens, right? Life happens, the economy breaks down, something happens that throws that out the window, and you do not have a backup plan. You do not have a financial net. So you have to diversify. The same way we do it in business or we do it in our personal lives, you will see the government have different ways in which they earn and different ways in which they spend. You should never have just one thing, right? Your customers or your clients are coming to you for a solution. What does that journey look like, right? And always ask yourself, if they come to me for X, what is a good complementary service that can be added to it so that they don't have to leave me to find it, but I become a one-stop shop. So diversifying your income, or all diversifying means, and that big word, all it means is that you're finding different avenues in which you can actually earn money. Different avenues. So you can have the same business, but different ways in which your customers can come into contact with you. All right. So do you want me to pause here before? Do you want me to pause here, Debbie, before we go on to strategic financial choices? Do you want to chip in
Well,
and say anything?
I'll just add quickly to what you had there, because you mentioned a lot of things there, and what stood out, of course, is when you mentioned the complimentary service, and of course you gave yourself as an example, and I just want to mention in 2019. I had, 2018 into 19, I had clients initially reaching out to me because I did a lot of training, sales training, customer service training. I did a lot of strategic type of marketing, higher level type of marketing for organizations. And in 2018 and 19, I began getting questions along the line of social media. Do you do social media management? Do you do website design and those types of things, right? Again, which is why it's so important to kind of listen to your customer. The same thing you did as well with the customer who took that program with you and then said, hey, what next? It's important to begin to listen to your customers because they, of course, help to direct, and sometimes your business evolves as a result of the changing needs. And persons began to ask me about it, ask me about social media, website design, doing ads, graphics, and so on. And so I started to do it towards, I would say, toward within 2019. And then what happened? The pandemic happened, and training fell out. There was no training because nobody was doing any sort of in-house stuff. There's no face to face stuff, so so that just complete. So one of my service lines just went kaput, right? But because of the pandemic and persons were online, that is the service that really began to pick up for me. And so I was glad that just perhaps the 2 years prior, I had diversified and I was now offering that. And so that's why I could say that my business is now a boutique marketing agency, right? It really has a number of things to help organizations in different spaces in regard to marketing. So what you said there is very, very true and very, very, very important. And I'm glad I did that because I would have been in a total monkey pants in 2020 when that pandemic hit if I didn't start to really diversify my product slash service offering. So I reinforce that, Miles here. So I throw it back to you.
Thank you so much, Debbie, for adding value as usual. And even as you were speaking, I remembered last year in particular, sometimes we can get to a place of, I don't want to say comfort really, but we can get to a place where as that we're so accustomed offering particular things. But something new happened to me last year where people were requesting a service that, to be honest with you, it is not one I love to do. I like to do it, but I don't love to do it. But guess what? That was one of the most requested workshops last year. So sometimes what will happen is that we might have our own preconceived notions in regards to what I should add to monetize. But sometimes your audience also tells you what the demand is. And it might be in an area that you might not necessarily pay attention to, but it is what your audience is requesting. So I just wanted to add that as well, because that was one of my experiences last year where that's something I personally was not advertising, just took off. And that became then the area that persons wanted. And I could have been in my feelings or maybe been in a place of immaturity to say, well, it is not something that I like doing. They can go to get what I give them. No, that is not having the right mindset. What I would have done would have been to adapt and be in a place of flexibility to say, you know what, if this is what is bringing any revenue, let me reframe my focus and actually give persons what they want. Because there are some offers that we have that we like and we believe that it should be the top runner. But again, it is the value of the customer. The customer's perception of value is way more important than what you might think. So we might have a love for something and it does not sell. We might have a love for something and it earns nothing, it earns no profit. But because we want to be stuck and say, this is the field I'm supposed to be in, and not listen to what the market is saying and move with what the market says, right? So I just wanted to add that. In regards to financial choices, no. When you're building your wealth, I always tell persons, never get to a place where you serve money. Never get to a place where you're chasing money, because you will always be chasing it. Because when you reach that goal, you're going to want more. And when you reach that other goal, you're going to want more. You will never be in a place of satisfaction. So we don't chase money. We serve and money follows us. Be attracted. So I can tell you, when it comes to building wealth strategically, it's about understanding your financial choices. Now, when you are operating from a place of vulnerability or maybe downright desperation, right? You will be thinking about the bill you have to pay next week. You might be thinking about the credit card bill that is going to become due at the end of the month. You might be renting or leasing a space and want to know, how am I going to pay my way out of this, right? But we never get to a place where that we allow that to set the stage, because you should never spend money from a place of emotion. When people spend money from a place of emotion, it shows, right? And if you are someone, so when it comes to strategic financial choices, it is to understand it's not just the choice for today, but the choice for tomorrow. So you're not talking about just the choice for today, it is the choice for tomorrow. So when it comes to monetization, there will be certain things that may come your way that may look like an opportunity, but some good things could be a distraction. Some good things can take you off the path. Some good things can make it seem like you have arrived when in fact you have not. So you have to be able to be in a position where you choose what you choose well, so that it serves the bigger purpose. If you're only about money and you're in business, you are in business for the wrong reason. You are in business to change people's lives and to bring transformation by offering something valuable. When you offer something valuable to persons, money will come. Money is not something you have to run behind. Money is something that is attracted to you. And when you are a person who has that level of poverty mindset or a level of scarcity, to have this thinking that if I don't accept this particular job, if I don't accept this business, there will be no more to come. I'm telling you right now, you need to reframe and to cancel that. Because whatever you have to monetize is not going to be something that that you have to pull a lot from inside of you for. Whatever you have to monetize, it will flow from you. All you have to do is to first recognize it when it shows up, and then number two, develop it, and then everything else will flow from there. So when it comes to strategic financial choices, I want you to choose you first. And this is all tied back to who you are in identity. This is all tied back to your purpose, because when you choose you, it means you're choosing the things that are inside of you. You're choosing the things that are locked up, that are not being utilized right now, because you have not placed yourself in a position to be stretched. So as a person who is a business owner, a person who is an entrepreneur, your financial choices that you make today will create the world that you will live in tomorrow. All right, I'm going to end there. I'm going to end there, Debbie.
Ah, you are making me want to say amen every time you come on. Every time you come on. I think, Marcia, I'm already thinking of a part two to this workshop as well, because what you said there is extremely, extremely powerful. And I think people miss that the link, right? They do need to make a shift from a poverty mindset to a mindset where, exactly as you said, they are not chasing the money, but that they are living in their purpose. They are doing what is innate to them. And I love that it's not going to be like it's a part of you. You're going to, this is what you're called to do, right? So I think, entrepreneurship is such that we I think persons don't really realize, but it helps to stretch you, and it's a journey on to itself as well, because it really does make you look at yourself and look at the decisions you're making and whether you're making the right choice or not, right? So I think what you said is very, very, very powerful there. So with that, right? Zoe was on, and Zoe said, all the nuggets of wisdom surface and money flows. And I think that is so, so true, right? And so with that, I want to, of course, I'm going to just put this back up here and mention that we will be live again this Thursday at 7 p.m. Again, sharing more information and more tips and more, great, great stuff that you are going to get at our From Branding to Budgeting workshop that takes place on Wednesday, January the 31st. So you have just a few more weeks, really. Sign up. The link is in the comments. It'll be from 6 to 8. And as I mentioned, Marcia and I are really combining. I love collaborating with persons in the Caribbean. This is so important. And I think entrepreneurs are bombarded by what to really do and what to do next. And I think that this, I shouldn't say I think, I believe that this workshop is one that really kind of pinpoints exactly what you need to focus on to be able to be successful in 2024, right? So from branding to budgeting, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Of course, you can see the replay will be on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. And you will see us again here on Thursday at 7 p.m. So thank you guys for joining us, and you all do take care.